Imagine you're about to board a ship. A storm is coming. Now imagine this. The passengers vote on who should be captain. Not the trained navigator, not the person who understands the stars or the currents. Just whoever wins the vote. Sounds insane, but according to Socrates, this is exactly how democracies choose their leaders, and he thought it was madness.
We treat democracy as sacred, one of humanity's greatest achievements.
And in many ways, it is. But in ancient Athens, the birthplace of democracy, one man looked at the system and saw a fatal flaw. And Socrates wasn't talking about some distant future. He was talking about Athens, the most advanced democracy the world had ever seen. If it could fail there, what about everywhere else? That man was Socrates, the philosopher who shaped philosophy, and one of democracy's harshest critics. Socrates didn't oppose democracy because he hated freedom. He opposed it because he thought most people had no idea what they were doing when they voted. To him, democracy had a dangerous assumption, that political judgment requires no expertise at all. Because Socrates believed voting, like surgery or engineering, is a skill, and most people are terrible at it.
Socrates told a story.
The ship of state.
Imagine a ship, large, important, heading somewhere critical. The owner is strong, but short-sighted. The sailors are loud, confident, and completely unqualified. They argue constantly about who should steer. None of them know how. But each insists he deserves to be captain. They flatter the owner, shout over each other, even fight for control of the wheel. Meanwhile, the one person who actually understands navigation, the true navigator, is ignored. Why? Because he doesn't flatter the crowd, and he refuses to pretend steering a ship is easy. He's called useless, a dreamer, a stargazer. And if he tries to take control, the sailors laugh at him or throw him overboard. Socrates' point? Running a country, like sailing a ship, is a skill. So is choosing who to run the country. And skills require knowledge. Democracy assumes everyone has that knowledge. Socrates wasn't convinced. In a democracy, the person who actually understands politics may be the least likely to win power. Here's the uncomfortable part. In most areas of life, we recognize expertise. We want trained surgeons performing surgery, experienced engineers building bridges, certified pilots flying planes. We don't vote on who removes your appendix. But when it came to choosing leaders, people who control wars, economies, laws, Athens said, everyone's opinion is equally valid. Socrates asked, why? Why is political judgment the one area where expertise doesn't matter? He believed democracy could work, but only if voters were educated, thoughtful, willing to admit what they didn't know. Without that, democracy becomes something else, something dangerous. To show the danger, Socrates imagined an election. Two candidates, a doctor and a sweet shop owner. The doctor tells the crowd, you eat too much sugar, you avoid exercise, you ignore your health, you need discipline. Then the sweet shop owner speaks. This doctor makes you miserable. Bitter medicine, painful treatments. But I will give you what you want. Sweets, feasts, pleasure. Why listen to him? Now ask yourself, who wins that election? Obviously the sweet shop owner, but the doctor might be the one who actually knows what people need. Socrates' point, democracies reward those who promise comfort, not those who tell difficult truths. Sound familiar? Candidates who promise easy answers over hard realities. Comfort over sacrifice. The sweet shop owner always wins. And Socrates saw it 2,400 years ago. For Socrates, this wasn't theoretical.
In 399 BC, Athens put him on trial. The charges were vague, corrupting the youth, disrespecting the gods. But the real crime? He made people uncomfortable. He questioned their assumptions. He refused to flatter. He insisted they didn't know what they thought they knew. A jury of 500 citizens voted on his fate. By a narrow margin, they found him guilty. Socrates was sentenced to death. He drank poison, hemlock, and died among his students.
He was condemned by a vote of hundreds of citizens, which meant something deeply ironic. The philosopher who spent his life questioning democracy was executed by one. To later philosophers, this became the ultimate warning. The crowd doesn't always choose truth. Sometimes it kills it. But Socrates' criticism is often misunderstood. He wasn't saying only elites should rule, or that ordinary people are worthless. His point was subtler. Democracy works when citizens think carefully. Democracy fails when citizens vote based on feelings, flattery, or ignorance. Democracy works only if citizens love truth more than comfort. But most people don't. They prefer the sweet shop. And here's the uncomfortable question he leaves us. What if most voters don't think carefully? What if they vote for whoever makes them feel good? Whoever promises easy solutions? Whoever flatters their existing beliefs? Then democracy doesn't produce the best leaders. It produces the most popular ones. And those aren't the same thing. Socrates didn't fear democracy. He feared what democracy becomes when wisdom disappears. Because when that happens, the crowd chooses the sweet shop owner and ignores the navigator steering the ship. So here's the question. When you vote, are you the navigator or just another sailor shouting louder than the person next to you? Socrates thought most people were sailors. He hoped a few would learn navigation before they raised their hand.